Do you want to know how to never be broken and what you can do to kind of just survive? Well, I'm going to talk about that today. So let's find out. Hello again, hello again.
Hey, baby.
Welcome back. Now, what do I mean about never be broken? Well, so often in life we're kind of dealing with different people, different situations and all that kind of stuff. It's very, very easy to just be affected by it. The net result is we end up kind of broken or damaged in some way, whether that's emotionally and unfortunately also sometimes physically. So what can you do to prevent and to stop yourself from being broken? There's a number of different things you can do, really, but one of the most important things is really to step back from the situation and just look at what is actually happening, as opposed to what you maybe think what's happening, or even worse, what you think might happen. If you're thinking what could happen in this particular situation based on what's been happening, the mind can just go off in some massive tangent, and before you know it, you've kind of invented this likely scenario in your mind that actually isn't likely, but you've convinced yourself that it's going to happen, and this kind of has an ongoing knock-on effect to you and your kind of state of mind. Now, why is this a problem? Well, it's because it's not reality, basically. When it comes to thinking about what could happen and what might happen, it's based on a sort of a presumption or assumption, or other words that end in shun. Station, information, that works. Litigation, no, less so. Animation, maybe. What am I talking about? When you kind of guess what is going to happen, you kind of literally inventing the future in your mind. That has a ridiculous effect on you, because without any fact, and it's just sort of, well, I think this might happen, it's likely that's not going to happen in reality. So the fact that you're going and your mind literally goes off 10 million miles an hour inventing some potential scenario that's actually never going to happen.
No sir, I don't like it.
Or at least unlikely. Very, very unlikely it's going to never, or it's very, very unlikely it's going to happen. Then suddenly you start to feel that sort of tightness of your chest, and you feel so nervous and nauseous and maybe physically tired, and headaches and tension in your neck, and it's just, you feel that kind of typical signs of stress and anxiety, and it's horrible, and that can kind of go even further and put you into maybe a depression and, you know, just all really, really bad things off of something that actually hasn't happened or is very unlikely to happen. So how do you stop that?
I don't know.
The obvious simple thing is, well, don't invent stuff, just go on the facts. And that is essentially what this message is. It's just look at the facts and take action on that.
Do it.
It's easier said than done. When you're presented with a situation that potentially has bad consequences, or it could kind of spin off at a tangent and give you bad consequences, it's not so easy to think in your mind sort of logically and go, right, okay, well, that's unlikely to happen. If you're feeling bad, if you are maybe also a bit vulnerable and a bit sort of nervous about the situation, it's very, very easy to sort of often think the worst. That's why I want to kind of give you some strategies to kind of help you through that so you don't become broken. Very strange weather today, kind of cloudy and a bit icky, but you know, it's good to come here. It's good inspiration, this place. Also getting inspiration, as you probably realised recently, from my kind of muse, Gemma Stone. So what are these super cunning, sexy strategies that I want to share with you? Well, it's very, very simple, to be honest. And often most things in life that are very useful and you can really get benefit from are actually very, very simple. Firstly, I have to stop and make sure that I don't fall in this small pond. Obviously I wouldn't have fallen in the pond if I'd have just walked across it, but filming me walking across it added the extra danger of me falling in the pond.
Well, back in the lowlands.
I'm going to do this shot because it's just simply gorgeous. little lily pods and everything. So, what is this strategy? Well, when faced with a situation, whatever it may be, it's most important that you just stop. Don't kind of rush into any decision, action, activity, anything. Just stop for a moment, take a breath, just kind of, you know, fill your lungs with oxygen and just sort of clear your head a little bit. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go and sort of take a 20-minute rest or anything like that, but just take a moment and take a break and just sort of think about it and just let it go. Now, what I would recommend is grab a piece of paper, a pen, pencil, or your phone, really, but something that you can take some notes on, and basically just write down what the situation is. The actual facts, not what you think, the actual facts of, you know, what's happening at this particular point. Under that, then sort of write down, well, what you perhaps think could happen. And this could be all your sort of completely bizarre, you know, every eventuality that could happen. And then also write down what you think is likely to happen based on reality. Now, the benefit of doing it this way is because you write down the situation, write down all the things that could possibly happen, and then when you write down the things that are likely to happen based on reality and things like that, you're more likely to kind of reduce that number down a lot. You've gone, oh, you know, here's 20 things that could happen. Actually, reality, that's probably not going to happen because, you know, XYZ, that's not going to happen because of ABC, and you start to kind of justify to yourself why the things can't happen because you're trying to weed them out. And you may obviously end up with still a number of things, but then just keep doing that. Once you've got that list, say you've gone from 20, say, to 10, go through the list again. What's the likelihood of these happening? And what you'll find, really, and this is bizarre, it's probably not bizarre, it's probably some sort of psychological thing behind it, but what you'll actually find is as you keep going over and over the list, you'll be getting rid of more and more of these potential things till you've got maybe one or two, or possibly none. If you end up with none, then amazing, it's all good. But if you end up, you know, one or two, really sort of be brutal and look at, you know, what is the likelihood of this happening? If you say, well, yeah, this actually could happen based on the facts I've got and the situation I'm in. If this continues, then 2 or 3 things will happen. But you remember, you've now got it down from the big list of 20 or whatever to just those 3. And that is hugely powerful because now the fact that you've whittled it down, the situation has kind of got better, because it was like the end of the world where 50 things, 20 things could be going wrong, but now maybe only 1 or 2. And so that psychological kind of game almost will make you feel better about it because now suddenly less things are going wrong. So it almost feels like it's got better in something, and it kind of tricks you. So now you've got your kind of list of 1, 2 or 3 things that potentially really could happen. Then look at, well, what can I do to prevent these? And if not prevent these, what could I do to maybe minimise the effect of these? Maybe go through that a few iterations to see, you know, what can you do? And you'll be surprised, actually, once you start thinking like this, you'll be able to maybe go, okay, well, if I maybe don't do that, then I can reduce this, or that won't happen at all. Fine. And you can kind of just go through this list, and you end up potentially, I've got to say, 99% of the time, you'll be able to eliminate all the things that could potentially go wrong by just changing a couple of small things in your activities, in your actions. By doing that, maybe you've gone from a huge potential list of things down to a few, which makes you feel better, and now you've looked at them logically and think, what can I do? What power do I have? What effect can I have over these things to either eliminate or reduce? And then suddenly you might end up with this tiny little thing which is actually survivable, which is actually something you can deal with, okay, and it's not really the end of the world. And this exercise is so powerful, and again, so easy. You just need a piece of paper or your phone just to sort of make notes, and then just keep going over it and going over it, and you're reducing all the way down. It will have a hugely massive effect on your sort of happiness and your attitude towards the problem or potential problem, and therefore prevent you from sort of feeling completely broken and completely destroyed by this thing that's happening, because you've kind of thought about it in a lot more of a practical way of how you can really solve the problem. It's an amazingly simple but powerfully effective way to do that. I found a little hut. I think it's about to start raining, so I might need to actually run to the car, but Yeah, it's a lovely day. It's been a very bizarre day here, and very black clouds, then sunny, black clouds, sunny. I just do love this park. There's so many gorgeous places that you almost find a new place every time I come here. It's absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
That technique is so simple and yet powerful, so I definitely recommend give it a go when you've got kind of problems and things that sort of seem insurmountable, and you know, you feel like, oh, you know, I'm just broken because of all the potential issues that it could cause. And when you break these things down, you'll find that actually a lot of them aren't as bad as you think. A lot of it you're inventing in your mind, and actually when you break it down and kind of get rid of all the then kind of go through and how can I solve this problem or how can I prevent it, you'll get rid of a lot, and it just saves you that potential kind of brokenness of your mind and just feeling that and the potential physical effects of that, and you'll feel a lot better and a lot happier and have a much more groovy life. Hope you got some value from this one today, guys. I really do. It's such a powerful thing that you can do, and just do take action on that list of things that could go wrong and just kind of get rid of them. And yeah, if you've got some value from this, don't forget to always hit that like button so it's nice and blue, unlike the sky, which is horrible and grey and icky. And great stuff. Hitting 194 now, 6 more to go. Come on guys, you can do it. Subscribe if you haven't, I really would appreciate it. And for now, thank you for watching. Do appreciate you all. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so down here, and check out my other video down here. And remember, live your best life and profit from that passion. See you next time. Bye-bye.